Jacksonville Jaguars and the London Bulldogs. With that, we head across the Atlantic to London. Standing by with the call and maybe a little jet-lagged, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, it's Divisional Round Saturday, and we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the London Bulldogs. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Brooks now, off play action. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago. And last week in that victory, they were pretty good. Probably a pretty easy film session, I would imagine.
And after a performance like that, so many people think you just roll into film, take your popcorn, kick back, and enjoy the show because they played well. I can just tell you from experience, after a win is when coaches come down on you harder. Because they want to emphasize all the mistakes that happen. Because you won, you're in a good mood. They want to bring you back to earth. Oftentimes you walk out of there and you ask your teammate, did we win last week?
So my assumption was wrong. I learned something. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you? He's got a man, complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. And what a big-time play there. 41 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Winters under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Back to throw. Winters. And he will find his man on the outside. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And they stop him short of the 1st as he can only get to the 20. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now Brooks to throw. Throwing on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On 1st and 10, Brooks looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Owens. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And his throw is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10?
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Let's go, B. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Second quarter now, and it's London with the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. We're scoreless after 1. The throw over the middle taken in. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown! A big play there. 77 yards as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes the score 7-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And it hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Pulled in at the 24. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. So here's the home side to take over on offense. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. To throw on 2nd down. Winters with a grab over the middle. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This is caught, and he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. They'll begin on the ground with Clement. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Brooks operating from the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but
Yeah.
No yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
A good return there, 17 yards. Throwing on first down. Winters. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Going to give his time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Second quarter action. 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. So 2 disastrous running plays, and now they face a 3rd and very long. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Here's the 2nd and 7. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Brooks. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5. Over the middle, complete. It's Bradley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Brooks. From the gun, he'll throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Owens. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So it's an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. Fielded about a yard deep. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they have made this look easy. Now, there's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantage isn't all it's cracked up to be. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it. Why? You don't ever have to change routine. Everything's familiar going into the game. It makes things easier, and that has paid off for them in a big way in this contest.
On first down, Winters. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Back to throw. Winters. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 21 yards. This quarterback now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. And they're going to speed things up here. Looking to throw on second down. Winters. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run again with Clement. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. So here is the home side to take over on offense. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
To throw on second down, Winters. Throw left side complete. It's Walters. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. So here is the home side to take over on offense. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of it, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Extra extra point right down the middle.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him, and he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Clement. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Welcome back now here in London. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Once again, it's Clement, and he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This will be fielded at the 17. Very good return that time. 18 yards. So here's the home side to take over on offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Here we go on 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Josh Allen able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. A big-time sack there on 4th down. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Brooks. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Brooks. He's going to air one out. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So here is the home side to take over on offense. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
as the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles. Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Good work after the catch. Going to net them 23 and a first.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here's 2nd and 8. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Well, a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. Brooks on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Brooks. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready, because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say cheerio from London.